I met Jace.
Jace. Dawn.
On a dating app.
I had some doubts. Are you really into older women?
I'm trying to understand. Who is this guy?
I was on my computer and one name just kept popping up. Jason Porter, Jason Porter.
Who's Jason Porter?
Who's Jason Porter?
Who is Jason Porter?
He was a thief. He committed fraud.
I guess I'm his type. Successful, has a lot of Tiffany jewelry.
My mom had this bracelet. It was like diamonds, rubies, emeralds, like all gone.
I lost $31,000.
$100,000.
$150,000.
I brought him into our home.
Woo! Well, that was a look at the two-part docuseries ROMCON. Who the F is Jason Porter? How one man fooled women right across Canada in an elaborate romance scam.
And according to the series, in 2022, romance scams accounted for almost $60 million in reported losses for Canadians. And here to discuss her journey is one of the women at the center of this story, Heather Rovet. Thank you so much for joining us and sharing your story.
Thank you.
So Heather, let's go back in time. In 2018, you met Jace, who showed up at your house as a handyman. The two of you had an instant kind of connection. You started dating from there, and you quickly introduced him to your family and friends. Talk a little bit about those early days of romance and who Jace claimed to be.
Well, Jace early on had told me he was a software engineer taking a break from the corporate world. He loved working with his hands, so he was now in the renovation business. He had a young son, and he was going through the family court to try and win custody. And our romance just flourished from there.
Okay, so in the series, the term love bombing is mentioned. So for people who don't know what love bombing is, what is it and why can it be so seductive?
Good question. Love bombing is constant adoration. You're the love of my life. I've waited my whole life to meet you. There's no one like you. So it's that instant validation, but then there's all the future faking that people don't always talk about. With me, within weeks, he was saying, you're gonna be the best stepmom. I can't wait to spend the rest of my life with you. We're gonna get married. That's love bombing.
All right. Well, as it was mentioned in the clip, he definitely has a type, which is older women. Why do you think he targeted older women specifically?
So I think, as it's pointed out in the documentary, I think he has a home base, like he did with me, somebody a bit more age appropriate. I think with the older women, there's maybe a sense of a little more stability with them, maybe a little more affluent, maybe they're even a little bit more naive to be preyed upon. And also, there's no way he's gonna get anyone who's older pregnant. So no more kids.
Okay, that's a very good point. All right, so during the pandemic, this man moved into the small downtown condo, and then the two of you moved to a place in Aurora, right? You even set up a room for his son, which you hadn't even met at that point. That's very interesting. Then you noticed money and family jewelry started to go missing. Is that when you started to get suspicious about him?
I never suspected Jace for a moment of stealing any of my mom's jewelry that had gone missing or the money. If I ever did call him out, ask him a question, he would turn it around, and that's what the gaslighting is.
Okay.
And it wasn't until
Give us an example of what he would say.
Oh, well, he would have, okay, for instance, if we were fighting over not meeting his son, he would turn it around and be like, everybody wants something from me. I'm doing the best I can. I can't rush the family court system. It's COVID, Heather. Everything's been shut down. How dare you do that to me? And then you feel really bad. And I started going crazy. Like, you start also questioning your reality.
And the thing was, he had endeared himself to you. I mean, in the documentary, they show that, he had sent, tickets to Italy. It seemed like he was financially flush. The two of you started this business together. Things were going really, really well, but there were just these few little things that kind of started to go increasingly sideways. Fast forward, and you find out that this man is chatting with scores of other women online. You log into the computer, you can see that he's been messaging all kinds of people. That same day you went into, I think it was the room you'd set up for his son that you never had met, and you found papers that showed that he had had numerous charges against him and that his name was in fact not Jace, it was Jason Porter. Take us through that day. He's still living at your home, but he's not there at that exact moment.
So that was probably one of the worst days of my life. In an instant, my whole life just blew up and my reality went sideways. When I got into the computer and I started seeing, it wasn't just a couple women or a couple dating sites, it was everyone. I didn't know half these dating sites existed, and it wasn't like it had just started, it went way back. Then when I realized he's Jason Porter and I typed in that name, he was all over the news in 2012. But finding everything hidden under his son's bed was probably like the most disturbing of it all.
If I can go back quickly, because you clearly had to have some kind of suspicion. Why were you on the computer checking out his dating profiles? So like, what was leading up to this?
We had a fight. Again, the gaslighting, he set me up. Our relationship had a shelf life because it could only go on for so long, because he could only lie about the family court for so long. So we had a fight that he had set up, and then he stopped coming home. We were living together, and he literally was like, I need some space. I'm going to sleep at the office. And the daily interactions, I would start going 3-4 days without hearing from him. And it just, the first week it made sense, the second week I tolerated it, but by week 5, yeah, I became determined to figure out what was going on.
What was going on? Let's fast forward a little bit, because eventually you gathered evidence, you took him to court. He is now in jail, but I know people want to clap for that, but here's the twist. Tell us what he was convicted for, and do you have any closure right now? So answer that first part. What is he in jail for?
So I want everyone to go and watch the doc on Prime Video, but he was convicted for stealing my mom's jewelry. He stole this much, and we got this much evidence because when you watch the documentary, spoiler alert, he erased the computer before I got everything off. Am I satisfied? No, because what he did to me is not considered a crime.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. It's the property has more rights than you do, it turns out.
Society doesn't recognize emotional abuse.
Wow.
Society recognizes emotional abuse.
The system does.
The system does not see what he did to me as a crime.
Heather, thank you for this, for your bravery in coming forward, in being
you.
a part of the doc, and sharing. I think you're going to help a lot of people.
Absolutely.
So thank you so
Thank
much
you.
for being here. Thank you. Okay, we want to tell you the original series. It is called ROMCON. Who the F is Jason Porter? It is streaming right now on Prime Video.
Hey, you, come a bit closer. We've got so many more must-see interviews, spicy debates, lifestyle tips, and pop culture moments. So subscribe to our channel by tapping the logo below and don't miss out.